Modern physics suggests one absolute certainty about the cosmos: it will eventually end. According to the current math, that demise narrows down to two extreme fates. The universe will either consume itself in fire or slowly dissipate in the dark. When presented with total annihilation by fire or the slow erasure of ice, our human instincts react strangely. We often find the prospect of a silent, eternal freeze vastly more unsettling than a violent explosion. Both endings trace back to the same origin point. The Big Bang represents the sudden expansion of space itself, an event that created the geometry, the physical laws, and the very concept of distance. To understand our deep-seated dread of the freeze, we have to look closely at the mechanical blueprints of both endings. We have to confront why the option we fear most is the one the scientific consensus currently supports. The ultimate fate of the universe serves as a mirror. It forces us to examine human psychology and our desperate need for existence to carry lasting meaning. Consider the fire first. In the Big Bounce model, the universe's outward expansion eventually runs out of momentum. Gravity takes over, pulling everything back together. This initiates a phase called the Big Crunch. Every galaxy, star, and physical record of history compresses backward into an infinitely hot, dense state. This extreme pressure triggers a new Big Bang, and the cycle resets. Humans tend to find this violent model comforting because it maps onto the natural cycles we see every day: the turning of the seasons, the rhythm of a heartbeat, and the cycle of life and death. This is a serious scientific model, championed by physicists like Nobel laureate Roger Penrose. He argues that the cold endpoint of an expanding universe geometrically transforms to become the hot, dense beginning of the next one. Some researchers point to the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in the universe, as evidence. They claim to see faint, circular patterns in the radiation that could be echoes left over from a previous universe's destruction. The Big Bounce is unimaginably brutal, but it offers a profound cosmic stubbornness. It suggests that destruction is never final, and that existence is an eternal, unbreakable rhythm. In the late 1990s, the Big Crunch model hit a massive roadblock. Observations of distant supernovae revealed that the universe's expansion isn't slowing down at all. Instead, it is accelerating. Look at the flaring white arrows at the top of this expansion diagram. They represent the current era, where a mysterious force called dark energy is actively pushing the fabric of space apart, faster and faster. On a cosmic scale, dark energy is overwhelmingly stronger than gravity. Because its influence is increasing, the universe lacks the braking mechanism required to pull everything back into a collapse. This creates an irreversible isolation. As space stretches, neighboring galaxies will be pushed entirely beyond our observable horizon, leaving us alone in an increasingly dark bubble. Dark energy forces us to abandon the idea of a cosmic reset. It locks the universe onto a one-way track toward absolute isolation. The timeline of the Big Freeze is staggering. After the galaxies vanish, the stars will eventually exhaust their fuel. Over trillions of years, even the black holes will slowly evaporate into nothing. The end point of this process is thermodynamic equilibrium. This is a final state where all energy is spread perfectly and evenly across the expanding void. In this state, there are no temperature differences left. Without a gradient to drive the flow of energy, the complex chemical reactions that sustain life and power thought become physically impossible. Nothing moves and nothing changes. The irony of the heat death is that it lacks a grand finale. It flatlines reality into a state where time itself becomes meaningless because there are no longer any events to measure. These two models present a stark contrast. The bounce is a cycle of destruction paired with immediate rebirth. The freeze is linear, pointing exclusively toward permanent erasure. Our dread of the freeze comes from a biological disconnect. Human cognition evolved to navigate boundaries and cause and effect. We lack the mental apparatus to comprehend an infinite void where nothing happens forever. Because life and complexity depend on the flow of energy across gradients, the Big Freeze strips the cosmos of its continuity. In this framework, every single star that burned and every civilization that rose was simply a temporary fluctuation, a brief deviation before the universe returned to its final static state. While the Big Bounce suggests that existence is the universe's natural state, the Big Freeze implies that existence is a cosmic accident constantly trying to correct itself back to nothingness.